We all carry mistakes with us, some small, some large, but each mistake that you make leaves a mark. And it's real easy to let these mistakes define us, to hold on to guilt and regret. But what if I told you that forgiveness just isn't about others? It's being able to look yourself in the mirror after you've made countless mistakes and just accept them. Really learning how to truly forgive yourself for everything that you may have done wrong. I feel like one thing that a lot of people don't take into account is the fact that forgiveness isn't a sign of weakness, nor isn't it a sign of what you did doesn't matter. It's not about excusing your mistakes, but about accepting them, understanding that what's done is done, and you cannot go back into the past and change things that you may wish to change. Just think about how you would treat a friend who hurt themselves. Would you judge them? Would you tell them that they're in the wrong because they feel some type of way and decided to, inflict self-harm? Or would you just be more considerate and kind, understanding the fact that, we all have this pain or we all have some form of trauma built up. We're just all trying to learn how to properly manage and regulate it. And one thing that's always helped me with this form of forgiveness is just understanding that you have to forgive for you, not even for that person. If you're in a position where you may have wronged somebody, no matter what side you're on, whether it was wrong or right, you have to find it in your heart to accept things for what they are. But this form of forgiveness is going to be something that allows you to move on and move past certain things that's happened. The longer that you sit and reflect and you feel guilty about the things that you've done are really just going to increase the time that you're stuck in this old, state of mind. I know there's things that we all wish we can go back and change, but life just doesn't work like that. Each and everything that may occur in your life happens for a specific reason. And a lot of the times we don't understand in that very moment the significance that, that specific thing may serve. This is why it's very important to allow time to pass, to allow yourself to really feel what you're feeling, to give yourself that time so that you can gain a sense of mental clarity on the things that are happening in your life. And there's so many different reasons why people can blame themselves. And one that I personally experienced is this form of survival's guilt. When you are putting yourself in a position to elevate, as a young man or as a young woman, and you realize that there are certain people that you can't take with you. You may love them to death, but you realize that they're just going to hold you back. And as time goes on and you're constantly building and you're growing, and then you realize that something happened to the people that you just didn't carry or bring along with you, it makes you feel some type of way. That form of guilt, feeling like you may have betrayed the people that you love. But you can't blame yourself for things that really just aren't in your control. All you can do is make decisions that are going to put you in the best position possible for your life. Yes, you can be considerate of others, but it doesn't matter what you've done. At some point, you're going to have to learn this form of forgiveness. And when I took the time to really understand that it's way deeper than just forgiving that next person. Yes, if someone's wronged you, you want to be able to make peace with the situation. We all do. And this goes for old relationships, old friendships, anything that you may possibly have, any type of connection that you may have. But forgiving for you is the ultimate reward that I feel like so many of us don't understand. Forgiving because it allows you to remove yourself out of that position where you're trapped, where you're allowing it to consume you, take up time and space in your head. When you know that you can be putting that energy into other things to help further advance your life. When I had my little toxic stages and I was going in and out of relationships or situationships, people did me wrong too. The way that I felt, the built up anger, the tension, but more importantly, I had to realize that I had to let go. Not only did I had to forgive myself, but I had to forgive those around me that have wronged me because it was just holding me back. It was bad energy that I didn't need to carry on into my future life, and I just really needed to heal. So if you're in a position like that, take some time to heal. Take some time to forgive those that have done you wrong. And the best part about this is it doesn't even necessarily mean that these people have to be present in your life. This act of forgiving just allows you to be able to move on. You're not going to continue to be the slave of, this old version or this old image of anything that someone may have possibly done to you. And there's this quote, and I forgot who it's by, but they said that If betrayal was forgivable, then the devil himself would be still sitting next to God. And for y'all who don't know, the devil once upon a time was an angel. But that quote really stuck with me because it put me in a totally different headspace. There's two separate ways that you can view this, and the first one being that, betrayal of any shape or form is something that should not be dismissed. It's something that you can't really move past once it happens. And then the other way that you can view this is the fact that, are you going to allow this form of betrayal to keep you trapped in this cycle of holding this built up tension and resentment for somebody that could have possibly wronged you, making you a slave to whatever it is that occurred? And when I first heard that, I didn't properly understand it. I didn't get it because I just felt like people who do you wrong should know what they're doing and they should be held accountable. But it's a lot bigger than just holding someone accountable for what they did. It's putting yourself first. It's forgiving yourself, understanding that, you do not have the time to waste and the energy to waste on things that really do not serve you anymore. And it's really that simple. But even if you're in a position and you experience this form of self-blame, one thing that you can do is practice self-compassion. Treat yourself like the delicate human being that you are. As crazy as that may sound, like it's really this simple. If somebody were, and I heard this analogy from somebody named King Dre. If y'all ain't watched him, go watch him. He's like a dating coach, relationship coach on YouTube. But I heard this analogy from him, but he said that if somebody were to put their hands around your neck for, let's say, I don't know, 2 minutes, you'd literally not be here anymore. Let's just say that. So just the very fact that, we're as delicate as we are as human beings, I feel like so many of us don't treat ourselves like that. Be patient with yourself. Be kind. Be the one that gives yourself that form of reassurance that you need so that you can feel more confident in what you got going on. But even if something was your fault that you could have possibly done in the past, you have to learn acceptance. You have to learn to let it go, because it's the only way that you're going to be able to create a new version of yourself that you're more proud of. Yes, you aren't always going to make the best decisions. Yes, a lot of people may not agree with the decisions that you make, but we are not here to please everybody. We are here to be who we are and to attract the things that are meant for us to have in our life. But you really have to put yourself in a position to embrace a more positive way of living. Because when you're stuck in this cycle of not really knowing how to forgive people, just think about it. As you go on throughout your life, the new connections that you build, the things that you do, not being able to forgive yourself as well, but the things that you do, the bad decisions that you make, all of these things are just going to be stacked on top of each other. You don't know how to let things go. You don't know how to properly forgive. You don't know how to properly move on and heal from people that could possibly hurt you or any type of pain that you may inflict. One thing that's always helped me is I just understand that I'm human. I understand that I can't please everybody. I understand that I'm going to make mistakes no matter how hard I try. But I have to be willing to take accountability for those mistakes. If you can do that, then it'll be much more tasteful and you'll be able to move on, knowing that, you just have this form of acceptance and this is just what you need. But whatever it is that's holding you back, it could be something holding you back from reaching your true potential. It could be people, it could be a thing, it could be a place. You have to forgive and you have to let go. As hard as it may be, because it's way easier said than done. But the longer that you cling on and hold on to this form of hurt, this form of pain, this form of attachment, you are not going to be able to grow. It is not going to feel comfortable, I promise you. It probably doesn't at this very moment. But what can you possibly do? Because subconsciously, a lot of us know that we have to make certain decisions. We just may not have the courage to do so. We may not feel like we have the strength to forgive. We may not feel like we have the strength to forgive ourselves. But this is where that sense of maturity comes in. You got to think about the bigger picture. You got to think about the life that you have to live and all the memories that you have to build. And if you allow yourself to carry this extra weight and this extra baggage, these are things that are going to hold you back, whether you realize it or not. And a lot of us don't like to think of it like that. because a lot of the time we're just living, just being free. I'm here, I'm blessed, I'm doing what I want, I'm young, but at some point, all of those things are going to catch up to you. And the things that you put out into the world are eventually going to come back to you. So if you don't know how to forgive yourself when they do end up coming back to you, you're going to be sitting there blaming, feeling guilty, feeling like, you just lived a life that, let's just say, is not worthwhile, when in reality, that's not even the case. It just makes you a human being. It makes you someone who makes mistakes like everyone else. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.